Before we talk about Black Tie Bingo, I want to talk about the Fort Smith Public Library system. And I know over the pandemic, a lot of online activity took place, but it seems as though the library system is thriving and has been thriving in Fort Smith for quite a while. Just talk about the state of the library system right now.
All right. Well, Daren, thank you for having me on. It's good to see you, well, in Zoom meeting, and we'll be anxious to see you in a couple of weeks in person. But the library, we were affected by COVID just like every place else, and we were shut down to the public for months. And then we started having people come back with reservations and appointments, and then open back up, and we're back to full staff. Our cafes open again, serving food. And it took us it took us a while to get back in person and going again. And we were just thankful for people that donated during this time and helped us. And we did a lot of online programming, and that was well received. And so now we're back in person programming, and we have our story times in person. So we're excited to see people and all of our community back supporting us and having meetings again and things like that. But yes, we definitely always need the donations. For years, we've had kind of a want list, and through COVID, we were able to raise enough money to get kiosks, which is self-checkout systems, in place in our main library and all of our branches. And that was a big undertaking because we had to touch every piece of material in the library to get it tagged. And it's more of a security system. It also helps us if we have books out of place, but a huge gain for our library and for customers that we have now. And so that was a big project that we did, and the endowment helped fund. We're also constantly working on our digitization, and that's a slow process because we can only allocate so much money a year. But we've started on that. We started in the 1830s, and we moved up, and we're in the 1930s now. So we've done 100 years of digitization, so we don't lose those documents. Otherwise, they just start disintegrating. And so we have those digitized. And then we added a lot more online services, downloadables, audios, all kinds of things you can get for free with your library card. And then ebooks, we've added a lot more to that. Plus, we still have our books you hold, because people love to still hold a book. But we constantly are working towards just making everything more technology updated. We constantly are trying to keep our computer systems and all the things we offer up to date. And that takes a lot too. So the endowment helps however we can with the library. They prioritize every year of what we can do. And between the endowment and even the Friends of the Library, we put so much money back in resources, online programming, all that, just to help grow our library system.
If you haven't been to a Black Tie Bingo, and I know this is what, the 15th year for the event this year, it is talk about how that, and you and I have been together on this for almost from the beginning. Talk about how big this event has gotten, how it's evolved over those years.
Well, when we started out with this idea, when I first started as the endowment director, they wanted to have a signature event. And so I went to a training in Texas, and just sitting next to a lady, I asked her, I said, what do you guys do for a signature event? And she was telling me they do a Black Tie Bingo. And so then I started researching it and found out other places did that, but then we made it our own. Mm-hmm. And we started in the main library's community room. And we outgrew that really the first year, but that was the year we started in there. And then we moved up to the second floor and had it in periodicals, and outgrew that room. And we've gone into periodicals and genealogy, where you move all the bookcases, all the tables and chairs, everything. We put up round tables and decorate. And we, we have 180 to 200 people in the library, and it makes it so special because people come in. Sometimes people haven't been here. They look at this big building and they don't stop, and this gets them in there, and they can get a library card that night. We're happy to sign people up that night to have a library card. but it's really grown. And the past 2 years, you've been there with us, but we had a drive-through. We wanted to still offer our event because the money we make from this event, we provide all the money to youth services from Black Tie Bingo. So whatever we make, we're able to gift back to youth services from the proceeds. So we try to do whatever we can to help. And it has just really grown. I know when we sent out the save the date card back in August, we were getting calls, okay, save the date, but I want to buy my ticket now. So our ticket sales have been really, really good. We still have seats available, and you can go to fortsmithlibrary.org and buy them online, or you can stop by any library or the branches and purchase tickets. Tickets are 150 each. And we also, you're able online to buy raffle items. And we have a great selection of raffle items this year. We're going to have a shopping spree in Tulsa with a stay at the Mayo Hotel. And then we're going to have a mixology class held at Hardscrabble, and you can learn how to mix drinks, and the bartender is going to help us. And then we've got an Amazon shopping spree. We've got a basket of cash. We're going to have a big green egg. That is always a big item. We have a necklace donated. That's one of a kind. Then we're going to have another Tundra, a Yeti cooler, and we fill that up with all kinds of drinks and all kinds of things. And so we just have a lot of fun items to offer. And then we're going to have a live auction. And Daren will be leading our live auction. It's a trip to France. And so we're very thankful for that. It'll be in the south of France, and we'll have all the information that night for people that want to bid on the live auction. So we're excited about that. But we come in, and the Don Bailey Jazz Band, they start us off with appetizers. We start on the lower level and the jazz band, and then we're going to move to the second level for a formal dinner. And we have Ambiance Catering is doing our food this year. And Chris and Lolly Swicegood are going to play during our dinner. And they're always wonderful, and I think have a big following that follow them. Then after dinner, we clear the plates, and
it's time for bingo.
And I'm getting all kinds of wonderful bingo prizes in. Well, you walk into my office at the library, and you can see one whole side of my office is full of bingo prizes. So we put them all together, and we offer a lot of wonderful bingo prizes for whoever wins. I think it's been 2 years that we've not dressed up. Everybody's dressed up in their tuxes or pretty clothes, and come and sit down and just have a fun evening.
I think folks are ready to get back to doing that again, especially with an event like this. In the parking lot, it was fantastic, great weather. It was all decorated, but it just doesn't match what you can do when you're sitting down indoors and it's all nicely, elegantly decorated.
We do. And I tell you, it takes a small army of volunteers that come in and help set everything up, move the bookcases, and then set everything up, decorate the tables, decorate the stairway, decorate all around to make it, fun to come and everybody excited. And it does kick off the holiday season.
This is one of these events where you don't want to wait till the last minute to get tickets, because if you do, you're not going to be able to find any. So really the best thing to do is to get them ordered now.
Yes, exactly. Because the last 3 Black Tie Bingos, we had the 2 drive-through and the one in 2019, we sold out. So we had to shut it off on our website. We weren't able to sell any more. So get them now while we still have them available. And we've had people ask us, they say, well, why don't you move to a bigger area where you can have more people? We love people coming in the library. I mean, this is the only time you have a venue like this that you can come in and enjoy the library and even look around, because we have our departments open so they can even look around. So we really love having it at the library. And as you stated earlier, it's November 11th on a Friday. We would always kind of regulate our event around the Razorbacks. And so we decided we're going to try it on a Friday, and then the Razorbacks can have their home games. So it's a Friday night, 6:30 to 10:30.
And again, the website to get tickets.
fortsmithlibrary.org. You
Okay.
go into our website and there'll be a big block that says Black Tie Bingo, and you just click on that and you can order tickets and raffle tickets right there.
And then you go get your tux and your fancy dress.
Yes. Some
All
of my
right.
friends were telling me their husbands were getting their tuxes out and getting them to the dry cleaners, getting ready to roll.
Yeah. All right, Cindy, thank you so much. It's going to be so much fun to get back in person again.
Well, Daren, thank you. And we'll look forward to see you in person down here. All of your Fort Smith friends are looking forward to it.